much better love was this time around. Welcome to Vibe Osmosis. How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
It's been good. It's been a wild one for sure. All right, introduce yourself, everybody.
All right. This is Cameron, also known as PureApathi, and my name is Griffin Girard. Um, I have made music under the names Roadkill and GG Caliber, and I am also the partner here of Cameron Combs PureApathi.
And you've also have done other work in many bands to mention Griffin's part. And one of my questions is how do you feel about the new release? Is it sitting well now?
Yeah, I love it so much, and you know, I mean, it just keeps getting better.
Sure.
Fred and the band dynamic. It's just, every album is better than the last, and I'm really excited for this one to come out. And I just rejoined the live band too, so it's exciting.
Pure Apathy, you've actually been doing art and music and DJing, and kind of shout out how long you've been making music for and whatnot.
So I've been making music since seventh grade. I started on Soundtrap and then kind of went on Ableton and FL Studio after that. But then once my computer broke in 2020, I think I kind of went back to Soundtrap, and ever since then I like really haven't been making that much music. But um, as for art, I've been making art my whole life.
And with like your paintings and like your oil paintings, you have like some different wild titles. Is it kind of like song titles that you wish they could be, or is it more like kind of specific or theme specific to the artwork?
Usually it's themed specific to the artwork. Sometimes I mean, not the titles of my own music, but like other songs kind of like inspired off of that. But most of the time I just like kind of name my paintings off of like to maybe get a better understanding of the meaning behind it.
All right, and also like with one of the ones like your dreams, like do you remember your dreams?
Sometimes I remember my dreams pretty vividly, but recently I have not remembered any of my dreams.
It's really
But that
interesting.
that 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 painting in particular was basically like in the perspective of being in a place where maybe you think that it's not real and that you're in a dream, almost like that.
And what color do you think that your dreams are?
What was that? Sorry.
What color do you think that your dreams are?
Um, Probably a bright green.
Griffin, what do
Yeah,
you, what
a bright green.
what would you say?
I Mine is like kind of a dark, murky brown.
Oh, dark murky. Why would you say that? Do you remember your dreams, Griff?
No, I have dreams, but once you wake up, everything's kind of mixed together like that.
All right, so like I've had this one dream really recently where I like went on like this kind of adventure, and it's like I did this all in a night, and this like I introduced like my partner to like a bunch of like old friends, and then like I made my way back to Seattle, and then like met up with like old people, and like in my mind was like, all right, so what should we do? And they were like, don't do anything touristy, like typical, like do what you would do, and in a lot of ways I was just like, after I woke up from my dream, I was like, you can go anywhere in your dreams and kind of have like your own mini vacation in your dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true, true.
I went to Japan last night in my dream.
Alright. So, and in Japan, in your dreams, it's kind of like one of those moments where I feel like where you lose control, and also like you're filling up like the surreal mindset of like anything can happen, like Vegas maybe.
Yeah,
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 especially since it's usually, anchored upon what you've experienced in real life, but also with the absurdities that come with a dream.
And all right, so I know I've dived into this quite a few times, but you've recently gone to see some of my favorite musicians out there, um, George Clinton and Griff.
yeah.
I know you went out to catch also the part of the AV Tear Show tour collective vibe. um I was kind of wondering your guys' perspective when like you know like once you get to hear like your like artist live. I mean, you're kind of putting it into like I don't know how it translates to like your own different listening patterns or stuff like that, you know.
Sorry, what was that? I got distracted a little bit. Cameron's mom came in here.
I guess with like getting to experience the live music of like the artists that you also listen to in different ways, like what you kind of take from that experience too.
Oh yeah, so like, um, just seeing like, of course, I love recorded music. So seeing how they take the recorded music and play it differently, and how the energy, there's an energy difference, and what ways they like twist it is always interesting to pick out from the recording. And also just like being next to everyone who they may or may not be on the same level as like fans as you are, but it's just everyone enjoying the music together, and that inspires me every time I go leave a concert. It's kind of like a grounding and motivating experience, but the next day I kind of feel like exhausted.
Yeah, and George Clanton was an opener for the concert we went to. So I mean, there was even people around us like kind of making fun of him, but I made the most of that experience. I screamed the top of my lungs. Like it, yeah, it's an amazing experience to see, especially your favorite artist play music live.
Mhm.
And this brings into my next question. Astrological signs.
Mine is a Taurus.
And mine is the Scorpio.
Okay, and also favorite movies.
My favorite movie is Ma.
Yeah, I can
Sue-Ann,
feel it.
you know.
It is a hit.
What's yours?
My favorite movie. Um, I have a few different favorites. It's hard to pick, but I really like the movie Spring Breakers. And I also enjoy what's it called? Sorry, it's gonna take a minute for me to remember what it's called.
I also really like Midsummer.
Midsummer. Whoa. Um,
Yes, Ma and Midsummer.
I
It's the dream blunt rotation, you know.
recently just went to go see the new Evil Dead Rise movie at the
Mm.
drive-through, and the actual if you're familiar with the old ones, like the old ones were actually kind of scary, even like whenever you're old and like never like really take the dive on watching one of these late at night. It's still very cryptic, and like it gives you that like dirty feeling whenever you're watching it because of like the context of like I don't know, like the demonic aspect. But in this one, it took a whole new turn of like grabbing you in on the fear aspect and also like the monster ghouly thing that like you don't want to like have grab you and take you into a dark room.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them, but yeah,
Oh,
I've heard a lot of stuff about the new one.
I definitely think like the reprise, like the one that came out a couple years ago. I think whenever like I was in high school or so, or maybe like out of high school, I went to go see that Evil Dead remake on acid, and there was like nobody in theaters, and like it melted my mind to the point of like this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, but also like this has like so much stuff into it. I don't know, it was one of those movies where I was like, you do not want to go see it on acid.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first Evil Dead movie was actually like one of the first rated R movies I think I watched.
Oh yeah, so it's the later one. I mean, I've watched the early ones back in the day, but this new one just really took it by the balls. And also with Mario, are you familiar? Are you guys fans of like Nintendo and like that lore?
yeah.
Yeah,
I was very hyper fixated on it when I was in middle school, so yeah.
I guess the whole shtick is behind the Mario thing. Why people maybe don't like Chris Pratt in the Mario, obviously the voice, but is like we're trying to save the planet, but also still trying to hook up with you. And I'm like, that's kind of the case in like so many classic like adventure-esque movies. It's like we're now together,
Yeah.
but we're gonna kind of bang, and also are also gonna save the world and fuck. it's
Yeah.
it's so
Too many
bad.
movies are like that for sure.
It's really funny because it's like if it doesn't have that, then it somehow it just doesn't fit, doesn't work. Maybe.
Yeah.
Did you go see Babylon yet with terrible Brad Pitt?
I have not.
Oh, it's not worth the shot. It's not worth the shot. I I mean, I gotta love
I
I got a lot of love for like the weird takes on movies, but this one was like I've watched it so many times now. I guess it got its money somehow, but like I'm still
mm,
trying to gasp like you missed the point maybe, or maybe I'm missing the point. I don't know.
yeah.
It's one of those ones. It's up to interpretation for real on like all the different stories that it gives you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we'll get into one of the fun favorite questions of mine. Favorite artist, favorite music of all time.
My favorite artist of all time is George Clinton. And my favorite album is probably the new Big Thief album.
Um,
Shout out Rusty
I
Santos.
I got my favorite artist. Um, Most recently, Animal Collective, probably my favorite band. But I've always really loved Daft Punk, especially when I was like a kid. They're one of the first artists that I got hugely into when I was like very young, like 3 or 4, and I've loved them ever since. And they got me into electronic music heavy.
Very nice, very nice. I about to say the homework is of course like a classic, but what I've really like is the music volume where it just like is like a series of the different good hits and tracks and like some remixes in there. Are you familiar?
Yes, I owned that CD at one point, and um, I loved the fact, yeah, it was a compilation of all their amazing songs, but the second disc on it was a music video
Yeah,
DVD, which
yeah.
I also started, my appreciation for music videos too.
And the DVD special also featured the dog man walking through like New York back in the day, which is definitely a hit.
Uh-huh. That creeped me out, not gonna lie. And there's a music video they have too, where like a girl cuts off her skin to become a skeleton. It was pretty freaky.
That's definitely for sure. Okay, so everybody, first album that you can recall buying.
Circus by Britney Spears on CD at Target with my mom. I think I was like in kindergarten. Maybe. Might have been kindergarten. Maybe first grade.
Rest in peace, James Corden.
And mine was probably, for lack of a better name, by Deadmau5. I think that was the first CD I bought, and I bought it at Best Buy.
All right, one of those things about the Dead Mouse, it's like now I'm not too crazy about the records, but whenever like this first one came out, like back in the day, I can remember getting on like YouTube and Pure Volume, checking out the music, and was just like, how was this created? Like, what software? What am I putting together? And I kind of wondered, like, is that kind of something that like still inspires you to make music personally, or is it kind of something that's like one of those just like earlier phases too from like the electronic influences? Because I have a lot of them myself.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like the first person who really got me into like using a DAW is Joel from Deadmau5. And if you listen to like the first ever tape I made or CD that I made, it's basically just sounds like the same type of house music that Deadmau5 was doing. But it's like really shitty and recorded with like,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Check it out.
I basically performed it live on FL Studio.
That's how you got to do it sometimes, you know. So you just got to work your instruments and let the sound do its thing.
Yep.
And also, so this goes into a really, really deep question. I feel for people that are into the lore, the favorite directors. You got a favorite directors? Everybody, shout it out.
At the moment, probably Ari Aster. Just Midsummer and Hereditary are crazy movies and definitely up there in my favorite movies I've ever watched. Um, I do want to watch that new movie. I heard it's 3 hours. I don't know how. What was that? Yeah, I am too. It's a very long movie. Yeah. No, I haven't.
No.
All right. So this goes back into one of you know, my classic questions. How would you rep? All right. So okay. So how would you represent yourself as an animated character? All right. So like, who would you choose?
Um, Probably Gary from SpongeBob. Yes, because Gary is sassy as fuck. You know.
Gary's a bad little.
Yeah, he's a baddie, and I'm too.
Okay, going off the SpongeBob theme, I think, okay, so there's always, I don't know really what the ages are in the show, so I'm sorry if this is out of pocket, but you know, there's always that kind of tension between Squidward and SpongeBob, and I think if that ever like, you know, went the opposite direction, I'd be the child that they make. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patrick would be like the babysitter, and we'd get into all the shenanigans together.
And I'd be Gary.
Yeah, and you'd be the pet.
I'd be the one to tell them how to tie their shoes.
True.
Because Gary's the only one in the bikini bottom who knows how. Yes. He steps out of the boundaries.
That's one of the things about SpongeBob. All right. You believe in ghosts?
Maybe.
Yes, I 100% believe in ghosts.
All right. What about aliens? Do you think aliens are out there?
Yes.
Aliens are real?
There is no way that aliens can exist with how big the universe is. It doesn't make any sense.
What about the whole balloon thing? Did you think those were the signs from the aliens, or do you think that like our government swept that under the rug and made us believe that it's like a balloon? I'm so offended of what it is.
No, that was not an alien.
Not
The
not
spy
whether
balloons?
you think it's just a spy balloon, just trying to scoop on us.
Yeah. Honestly, not even sure. I didn't even look into it that much.
No, I have a feeling if aliens are out there, they haven't made it here yet. But there's always like intelligence and
Grimes exists.
yeah.
Can I help with my homework?
Grimes is an alien.
Oh wait, I think. Hold on, just a sec. I think my sis needs help with her homework. Do you think you could help? Do you think you could help, Jeffrey?
And in what regard?
What? Okay, which one do you need help with?
Define variables to represent the number.
Oh no. Okay. No, this is a word problem. We don't like this.
Mrs. Burrow signed it, and she
This-
wasn't there to explain. Only Mrs. Kayada.
That's
I bet.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting help on that.
Yeah.
You don't know my book thief questions?
No.
Yeah, I've read that before.
Uh,
Sorry about that, Jeffrey. Let's
shout
get
out-
back to it.
Yeah, shout out real homework probs.
Yes.
So
Real world.
to just
Like, what inspired me to like be an artist, or like? Well, the
Wow.
biggest one, probably the most basic one, is definitely Monet, because he's the one who started Impressionism, and that's basically what I paint. I like a lot of his paintings, and then
from
Other
early,
than that,
from early memories, did you ever have like an icon or an artist that was like, I could totally do that too, or where it affected you, where you're like, oh, I could make art or like express myself in these other ways? I'm just wondering as well.
I've never really looked at other artists and been like, I can make art that looks like that, but I've looked at art and it's made me want to make art, like in my own way. Like, so if I see something that's like really original, I'm like, I want to make something that looks original.
Oh.
So I'd say, yeah. Another few influences, definitely like Simon Kingston, Tommy, definitely too. Tommy is actually an artist that I looked at his work and I'm like, I really want to.
Shout out Rat.
Yeah,
Lips on
shout out
Instagram.
Rat Lips. I've seen his art and I'm like, I really want to make art right now. I just like look at his art. I don't know. Yeah, especially with digital art too, because I do some digital art. I want to get on his level of how good he is at that sort of stuff.
what do you think about the whole Tucker Carlson from Fox News? Do you think that was a whole setup?
Oh, I'm so glad he's gone. I want Fox News gone in general, but him being gone is a step in the right direction.
I wonder if that's how Fox News feels about it. They're just like, well, we're trying here, or we're just
He was really he is
next.
crazy.
I mean, he's crazy enough to get Ariel Pink on the show many times, which I just am like, that's American history.
Yeah,
That was really funny.
and the whole Eminem thing that he's obsessed with that Eminem. He's got something with her.
He's got something
The,
for
the, the
sure,
green Eminem.
which is why we love to see what happens next in the era of terrible things. Are you is anybody watching anything cool lately? Any cool movies or shows?
Um,
Watch the Jersey Shore. Um, yeah, I love that show. I'm watching that right now.
They
I
got
watched.
fucking kids and shit, and they trying to act like they all cool, and at the same time, like they're not cool parents, bruh.
Oh, I haven't made it that far. I've restarted. I've never seen it before, but I feel like I'm catching up to like the culture.
Oh, well, yeah. Their family vacation future, it's a disaster.
Yeah, but that also, and I've been obsessed with Wong Kar-wai's movies as well.
And they've actually done some like no, noir. Is that how you go about it? Is that how you say it?
Noir, yeah.
Or avant-garde?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of stuff, but I always love how there's like a always like a solid aesthetic, and also like a big thing too is like he has like two or three songs that he uses throughout the movie, just only like a few songs, and they repeat over and over again.
Yeah, that's how you know you have a hit.
Hmm.
mhm.
All right. So I'm smoking weed. How do you feel about weed whenever you're making art and listening to music, or also creating music?
I wish I could smoke weed.
I'd
Yeah.
say it's a 10 for creativity. Um, it's a 10 for getting rid of like anxiety behind creating stuff, but also it also heightens my like social anxiety. So there's ups and downs. Shit.
I agree with that for other people, but for myself, I like physically can't smoke weed.
Physically, just can't do it.
Like I'd say actually mentally.
Yeah. And as I always like to recommend, a deep trip is always worth preparing for, and there's always really interesting ways to find out how to have a good trip. And always what I recommend, is a deep cleanse, taking your time, smoking some weed, grinding up that shroom, putting it into your juice, and just going for it, and taking that time with relaxation. You gotta, get in a comfortable space.
I agree. Get up whenever you trip to. Always get off that iPhone first of all. Like
That
like
helps. That helps.
turn it off
But if you're young,
completely.
I mean, fuck it and go for it. I mean, the world's yours. Control it with that LSD.
And also go on a bike ride because that's where the first trip happened, and that's like it's so life changing experience.
I want to bring up one of my favorite things, I guess, about creating is trying to deliver, I guess, the kind of emotion behind, I guess, certain, um, I guess, like either songs or visuals and stuff. I was wondering, whenever you're creating, are you kind of putting behind that own theme behind it, or is it always trying to like relay like what the image is itself?
I mean, for me, I kind of always have an image of a final product. It usually doesn't like happen that way though. So, um, it's like kind of frustrating, but also just how it worked out is pretty cool. You can
For like painting.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, most of the time I get my inspiration from just photos off my camera roll. I like to take as many photos as possible and going places just for ideas, or just maybe I'll have ideas in my head when I'm going to places to like something I'm gonna take a picture of. I'm like, no, I'm gonna paint that. But most of the time, I just go back into my camera roll and see things that I've done that I maybe want to paint.
And how are you feeling now about the AI takeover and the massive control behind that, and a lot of ways with companies, I guess, translating that to different apps and video games and stuff?
It's honestly kind of scary as an artist because I mean, I feel like commissions are just like it's just so much easier for businesses to just make AI art for their business, and like it's already hard as an artist to make money, and
As
just
of
by doing that, it's just like I don't know.
as of right now,
And artists are going to be hurting even more.
I've been thinking, for me personally, it's been making it a lot easier to just push out. I mean, obviously any idea, but like just like sitting on music. You don't have to sit on music anymore because you can just constantly push out all these images, and also like your own images, and manipulate them and mosh them up or whatever. So it's like, oh, it's really opening up a wide field of like experimentation is how I feel about it. Also, I guess same thing I feel like with the Photoshop. It's like it takes the realms of using Photoshop to a different level, because it's no longer just about like saving templates and like selling like templates. It's like developing a whole new style with your editing as well, other than like how it all looks, especially with like lighting, and different kinds of photography, especially. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I mean, and I definitely agree that it's very good for ideas and like getting creativity kind of out. Um,
It
so yeah,
definitely
it
changes.
has
It
its pros and
changes.
cons.
It really changes the way that the artist has to work, or navigate, with like all of that, I guess, open. But also, it kind of goes back to like the primitive stuff of creating stuff where you're actually, I don't know, putting more work into um like your whole, I guess, big picture.
Yeah, I also, from another perspective, it's not all sort of similar, but as like someone going to college, I can like see the pros and cons of the usages of AI in a class or with education, but also
That's true.
it just has me kind of feeling a little a pointlessness to everything. Um, Kind of like existential right now about my education, and I've just been kind of putting it off, thinking about all of that.
I also think it's one of those benefactors, I feel, for people that are different kind of content creators, because you're able to use different kinds of programs for various different types of things, and then also apply it to, I guess, like your own ideas and like your own like direction, especially, and like what I guess you're trying to shape up too. I feel like for the graphic design people, it's like whenever you really think about the companies, it's like a whole switch up. And I guess whenever it comes to like amateurs trying to step in, per se.
Yeah.
Also, so I was gonna bring up my thing. Did you already know about the AI Drake and Weekend track?
No.
No, you didn't know about that.
No, I do not follow Drake over the weekend at all, honestly.
I had no clue that the AI music thing was as prominent as it is, and like what AI beats and vocals can do whenever you edit it and do the work, I guess, yourself too. It's making me take the dive on what AI music actually is, because in a way, I never really thought about how Logic and like GarageBand and Ableton and Fruity Loops and like even like using electronic beat machines that already have like stuff preloaded. In a way, it's like using an AI. So it's like it really does open up your, I guess, overall sense to like what you can adapt with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And also want to get back into a little bit about the Pure Apathy beats, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so before you were focused on certain kind of music, and now would you say that if you were going to make a record, would it be different?
Yeah, because I'm honestly, I haven't made any music since, well, actually, our session together, like, I think last year.
I thought you just made a beat like a week ago.
Huh? Well, like, as a joke, it was like a, like, I made music seriously was
Made
the last
music
time that
seriously.
we were together.
I always
So,
find a way of.
I wouldn't, what was that, sorry?
I was gonna say, it's like I always try to find a way of making music. I don't know, fun. I don't know, and also break it down towards where you're getting a product out of it too.
Yeah, I,
Tina Wang is a big inspiration.
yes.
Patina.
Patina Wang is over here.
I
No,
spirit
but,
navigator.
no, but shout out Patina Wang. No, I think it's fun making music with her because she just has fun, and it's really fun making music with her.
I totally look forward for a future sibling collab. That was always going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I think some of the songs we made kind of got lost because Ken's phone broke and she got a new one. But yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
All right, so here's an essential question. All right, how did Griff and Pure Apathy come together? How'd you all meet, and what's the origin story?
Okay, so in the middle of quarantine, um, I started being friends with this person named Logan Dietz. Shout out.
Logan Dietz is actually featured on a PureApathi.
Yes. And so basically we were just like texting, and I was like really bored, and I was like, send me someone to text, and they sent me Griffin's profile, and so I just like sent Griffin this random meme, and then he responded, and then we just like started talking, and then we met up for the first time at the park next to my house,
Yeah, I
and we
biked my
Okay, great.
hour there.
yeah Griffin biked an hour to me, and then we just went on a walk. And then we started dating like a month later.
Just one walk, huh?
Yeah, it's almost been 3 years. Yeah, I think we were very young. I mean, I was freshman year and he was out of his sophomore year.
And you got, yeah. So everybody, you didn't make music together from the start, or you did.
We did work on some music together, but it wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't good.
It's just a little. We're looking back on it, though we're a little older, and we're just kind of like laughing at it. But
It wasn't good.
no, it's good. It's good. It's
I
innocent.
Griffin's
I
ideas were good, but mine weren't.
I want to shout out like whenever I think I was like 17 or 18 and I made something my friend listened to it, they were like, I cried. And then whenever I listened to it like 19, I was like, I hated it, I'm going to delete it, it's not going to be able to be found ever again. Like, so all up to opinion, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of
Yeah,
that.
because I feel like when people send me like that they're listening to my music, it's usually that music that I don't like older music that I just like. I don't understand the appeal around. I don't even understand the appeal of my music at this point.
Oh,
That's why I'm moving more towards painting.
yeah, and I was gonna ask, Griffin, you also have painting as well. Like, were you always interested, or did that kind of develop later?
You're talking to me about painting?
Yeah, you also did some, right?
I don't really paint. I occasionally I feel like I need to do art at like certain moments of my life to help me like move on with emotions or get something out that I normally couldn't express into like words. But it's never really been like something I've tried to perfect. It's just a tool that helps me mentally.
Griffin low key actually cooking.
Yes, he's low key cooking.
Also, so pure apathy. When did you first get into painting exactly?
I started painting in early 2022. Well, actually, that's when I started oil painting, which is like the medium I use basically in all of my paintings now. But painting in general, I would say probably like eighth grade. Definitely, I used acrylics a lot and watercolor. I really liked watercolor at the time, but I don't really like watercolor or acrylic anymore.
And also, have you ever tried to use charcoal?
Oh yeah, I really like using charcoal, and I'm also like using ink with water. It's pretty cool too.
Now, whenever I did school, I did sculpture. Were you ever interested in actually going for that route?
Definitely in the future, it's really chalk is really good for like sketching out figures. But that's usually what I would use it for. But I would definitely want to make like a full piece with just charcoal.
I just kind of wish I had like my own exact big studio space dedicated for art, and then have the own studio space dedicated towards music, so it's all separated.
Yeah, art studios are definitely a must for me. The college I'm going to does give me a studio, but that's only until my junior year. So
You need to look into Cornish out in Seattle. Then like that's your best route.
yeah, for sure. I definitely want to turn one of the rooms of the house that we're gonna move into a studio.
Cornish out there, they give you a studio that's like actually out in the city, and then the campus is in the downtown city, but you get an apartment that's basically in the best part of Capitol Hill, which obviously we know is a prominent, great scene.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of looking into Covington, maybe.
I definitely will
Covington.
say Newport's got some stuff as far as like actual places.
Oh yeah, Newport too, of course.
All right, everybody. So, what would you recommend before we go to listen to or also watch?
Listen to 100% Electronica by George Glancer right now after you're done listening to this review.
I say you watch Daft Punk music videos and also cook yourself some fried rice or whatever you want to. Just cook something for yourself and watch some music videos.
Brock Hampton music videos too. Those go crazy.
Pure Apathy. Do you want to also shout out upcoming gigs, or are we waiting on this?
Okay, so I got 2 gigs coming up. I got one at Belmont Billiards with Jack, Chance, and I think there's one more person. There might not be.
Yeah.
Oh, so you are doing it? Yeah, I thought you weren't doing it for a hot minute, but yes, and you. And then in August, the first week of August, I have an art show at Skeleton Dust.
So everybody tune into the shows that are coming out. It's gonna be hot.
Yes, those are gonna be crazy.
Additionally, the new lineup featuring me of Elite Terrorism Modulus is going to be performing 3 days near the end of May. Just keep an eye out on Instagram at Elite Terrorism Modulus. They'll be up there, but I think it's all in one weekend.
And
Yeah.
the start of it, I know, is that after that the previous week, the Skeleton Dust at 26th.
Yes. I'm really excited to be playing at Skeleton.
And then Indianapolis and Cincinnati.
Yeah, that one I plan on doing something really trippy for.
Yeah.
Are you gonna open for us on one of the dates or all of those dates, maybe?
Definitely for the Skeleton Dust as of right now, but I don't plan
Yeah.
on doing.
I'm gonna see you play live again.
I don't plan on doing anything else until that Belmont one, where I'm gonna keep it classy. We're spinning some records for that one.
Yeah. Well, what vibe are you going for what you're spinning?
All the classic 47 inches, and there's going to be loops and effects, and also classic Vibe Osmosis kind of vibe maybe too.
Yeah, I might go for like an ambient type set.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, maybe maybe I'll go first, like, because I know Jack was talking about maybe like switching up as time goes, like making it more and more intense as the night goes on. I think that's pretty cool.
And I want to bring up, thank you for taking the time to redo this one on this end and recreating a new Vibe Osmosis. Thank you everybody for joining Vibe Osmosis tonight.
Yes,
you're an awesome person, Jeff.
Yes, you are.
Well, it's been really fun, and also I'll keep you really informed on getting this one out like ASAP, because this week is a hot week for Vibe Osmosis.
Yes! Yes! Shout out Griffin, shout out Patina Wang, shout out Mrs. Armstrong for giving me the painting. Shout out Jesse Girard, shout out Logan Deeds, shout out Will Snyder, shout out Emma Rice, shout out my mom and my dad. for giving birth to me. Shout out Rachel. I'm gonna ally do some lot.
Get the bird out.
And shout out you for letting us do this.
Well, appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll keep in touch. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.